Hey everyone, this is Darshan Senthil from IPLgeek.com, and today my post-auction preview is gonna be about the Delhi Daredevils. I've been looking to make this podcast for quite a while, and it's good that I finally got the chance to do it after all the other teams. So, the Delhi Daredevils didn't retain anybody, and it's no surprise because of their horrendous season last year, where they finished last place, even behind the now defunct Pune Warriors. They were utterly bamboozled. They could not win anything, they barely won anything, and they had very little positives to take from that season. So naturally, they came out full blown for a full reform this year. They were the only team that did not retain any of its players, and they've come out for a full reform. So let's just look at some of their players. So first up, you see Dinesh Karthik, again, India's backup keeper. He had a good outing last year, but he suffered a little bit on the international frame, and that price tag of $2.1 million makes him to 12.5 crores, which is roughly $2.1 million. It's made him the second most expensive player this auction, behind Yuvraj Singh. So he gives them a wicket keeping option, and he's also been named their vice captain, I believe. And yeah, he's a good buy, but probably that price was a little bit too exorbitant for someone who's not in extraordinary form. And then Kevin Peterson, again, they pulled him back with their right to match card. It's good to see him back in Delhi, and I think he's gonna have a key role to play this year, particularly after his fallout with the ECB, and he's also gonna be their captain this year. So Kevin Peterson's gonna have a huge role for Delhi this year. They purchased him for 9 crore, which is honestly not that bad. It's roughly $1.5 million, which is what he was purchased for by the Royal Challengers back in 2009. So he's coming back to the Delhi Daredevils side to be their captain, and it's gonna be good to see him up there. So next up, Murli Vijay, former CSK opener. He leaves their squad. He finally leaves Chennai after being with them for approximately for the past 6 years. He's going to be opening the innings for them. Of course, he has suffered on the international front as well, and many questions have been asked about his selection, whether he was just been selected because he was a CSK player, or whether he's actually shown some form. And he did answer his critiques with some good innings, but still he's been rather scratchy as an opener, so this IPL will be a good chance for him to prove his true form. Then Shami Ahmed, India's most aggressive bowler today in my opinion. He's been amongst the top wicket takers in most of the tiers, and despite a really high economy rate, he's not had a very good outing in terms of economy, but his wickets have almost made up for that. Of course, he has much to work on in terms of economy rate and stuff, but I feel that he has got the wicket taking potential to lead India's bowling in the future. So they snapped him up for 4.25 crores. It's not too bad either. It's in the high about 500. It's in like 700, I believe. Should be up in that range. And yeah, he's a good buy for Delhi, I feel. Nathan Coulter-Nile, he played a good role for Mumbai in last year's Champions League. He's a handy all-rounder to have on your side. Low-order batsman and a nice fast bowler as well. Can bowl accurate, and yep, in general a good player. He only one match in last year's IPL. He got Adam Gilchrist out in his final innings, and even though Mumbai went on to lose the match by a massive 50 odd runs, his performance still stuck out in that game. He bowled pretty well, and yep, of course he got Gilchrist out as well. So he also joins them for 425, which is not too bad, but it's still quite expensive for someone like Coulter, but it's not too bad. He's a reliable player to have on your side. Quinton de Kock, South Africa's most talked about player this year probably. He's one of their rising stars. Wicketkeeper batsman, top class opener. He scored 3 consecutive centuries in India's tier during the ODI series. Incredible batsman. He's got good technique, and he's looking to establish himself in South Africa as an opener across all 3 formats, especially now after Graeme Smith's retirement. He should look to fill in the post of test opener as well. and they've got him for a pretty cheap price. I feel 323 crore. I expected him to go for a lot more, particularly after his century for the Highwell Lions in the Champions League, beg your pardon. I think Quinton de Kock has should have gone for a lot more money, but still, Delhi will be happy to have him in their side. He serves as a useful opening option as well. Manoj Tiwari returns to Delhi after a long exile, and well, not exile, but after leaving them for a long time. He was a part of their squad during 2009, but then was traded off to the Kolkata Knight Riders, and he's been there ever since. So he returns to Delhi, and he's a stable middle order batsman, and I think he will have a good time there as well. Jaydev Unadkat made his mark in last year's IPL. He took a 5-wicket haul against, ironically, the Delhi Daredevils while playing for RCB. He was really impressive amongst RCB's top 3 economic bowlers, and also picked up a fair number of wickets to go with that as well. He also made his international debut shortly after that in Zimbabwe, and he picked up a fair number of wickets as well. He hasn't gotten too many outings for India, but he's a good pacer to have on your side, and Delhi will be happy to get him. JP Duminy, just recently we saw his ballistic innings for South Africa. He scored 80 odd runs at a strike rate of 200, which is incredible, and that eventually proved to be the difference between the two sides, as the South Africa just trumped over New Zealand by 2 runs. So JP Duminy is going to be good to have in their side. He's also a stable or middle order batsman who can throw in a few overs with the ball as well. So he's a really handy player to have in your side, and they got him for a bargain price of just 2.2 crores, which is really good, I feel. Next, Ross Taylor, the devastating New Zealand batsman. He's been an awesome touch of late, and I think he's one of their best buys and bargain buys too. Just they got him at his base price of 2 crore. For whatever reason, not many teams were interested in him. I'm not entirely sure why, because he's in incredible form across all 3 formats. He smashed some great runs against India and all the other teams that New Zealand have played in as well. Next up, there's Kedar Jadhav, again another wicketkeeper batsman. He kept for them for the majority of last year and managed to sideline even Naman Oja because of his better batting show. And yeah, I think he's going to be good for them as well this year. He's an aggressive hitter, and he's going to probably stay in the side as well. Rahul Sharma, the most economic bowler of the 2011 IPL, but he's sort of declined ever since then. He was in the international level, all that, but then his form sort of dropped, and then so did he's not been too much in the international league of late, and this IPL will be a good chance for him to revive himself. He's been purchased at 1.9 crores by Delhi, and yep, he's going to make his mark. Mayank Agarwal, the destructive RCB batsman, Karnataka/RCB batsman, he really gave some impressive shows with his flamboyant strike rate and awesome poses, but his average did not quite sum up for it, although he made some awesome knocks, particularly his 65 of just 30 balls, I believe, against Mumbai in the 2012 IPL. This was quite a sensational knock where he took Munaf Patel for 20 odd runs in a single over. He's a really hard-hitting batsman. He played some nice knocks for RCB in the middle order, and also as an opener he took the pressure off Chris Gayle at a couple of times, and I think Delhi will be glad to have him in their side. They got him at a price of 1.6 crores, which is on the higher end for uncapped players, but yeah, Delhi will be happy to have him here. He's a really hard hitter, and I think he's one of those T20 batsmen per se, typically built for T20s. So he packs a punch, does Mayank Agarwal, and Delhi should be happy to have him there. Lakshmiratan Shukla, the Kolkata Knight Riders all-rounder. He did not quite make his mark, but he did slam a couple of sixes for Kolkata in 2012. But since he hasn't really made his mark too much with the bat, and the ball he bowled only once for the Kolkata Knight Riders in the entire 2012 season, and they really haven't used him too much since then. The Knight Riders. After last year, of course, they declined badly, But Lakshminathan Shukla hasn't really been wasn't really one of their stick out players. He's been decent for them, but nothing incredible. So yeah, Kolkata got him at 1.5 crores, which is not too bad for someone like him. James Neesham, one of New Zealand's better all-rounders, cool guy. He made his mark particularly in the Champions League of 2013, just this recent one. He made a sensational performance in the Super Over. He defended, I believe, 3 runs in 4 balls against Quinton de Kock, who just slammed him for a 6 and a 4 in the first 2 balls. He defended the remaining 3 runs for the next 4 balls. He was sensational with the ball, and also has made some good knocks in the tournament with the bat as well. And yeah, in general, he was a good all-rounder for the Otago Volts, and also for New Zealand, he's been a good player. So he was also expected to go for much higher price, but yeah, still 1 crore. It's not too bad as well for him. It's not too bad. It's roughly 200. Yeah, about 100,000, maybe 150. It's not too bad for Neesham. He's a reliable all-rounder. I'm sure Delhi would like to use him in different ways. Wayne Parnell, a reliable left-arm fast bowler from South Africa, also good with the bat. He did not get too many games for Pune last year, but he did do pretty good in what chance he got. So Wayne Parnell will be nice to see for Delhi. He was a part of their outfit in 2010, but then he was not given too many games owing to the presence of players like A.B. de Villiers and Tilakaratne Dilshan and Dirk Nannes, Daniel Vettori and all those other guys in the Delhi outfit at that time. So he was pretty sidelined at that time, but now he's back with the Delhi Daredevils. Shahbaz Nadeem, another left-arm spinner. He was very good for them, particularly in 2012, and he now stays with the Delhi Daredevils for yet another season. He was really incredible for them in 2012. He was economic, and at the end he was sidelined a bit for his counterpart Pawan Negi, the other left-arm spinner, because of Negi's batting ability. But still, he was really economic for them and took a couple of crucial wickets as well. Saurabh Tiwari, this means that Delhi have both the Tiwaris in their side. So after they have Manoj Tiwari and Saurabh Tiwari. It's a pretty good coincidence, cool coincidence. So Saurabh Tiwari was kind of a letdown for RCB after he was purchased for $1.6 million in 2011, and he could only score 150 for them across three whole years, and did not really make his mark for them as an impact player. Although he was a pretty average batsman, still he failed to click in when the situation called for it, and he did not really stand out as a batsman. So Saurabh Tiwari, he was ultimately released by the franchisee, and now he plays for Delhi. I hope he makes a good mark there at least. He got a big pay cut from 1.6 million, which is about 8 crore, which is about somewhere just a little bit more than 9 crores, and he's come all the way down to 70 lakhs. So he's one of the players who's got a huge pay cut, and now he's gonna have to make his mark over here. Siddharth Kaul, a useful fast bowler. He did play a few matches for Delhi last year, and he did take a couple of wickets as well, so he's a good player to have in their side. Rahul Shukla, one of Rajasthan's impact bowlers. In the Champions League in particular, he took a number of wickets for Rajasthan, and he was really good for them. I feel he was one of their finds, in addition to players like Vikramjit Malik and Sanju Samson. He was one of Rajasthan's finds. So now Delhi have managed to pull him over to their side. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares amidst players like Neesham and Siddharth Kaul and all those guys. Then of course you've got their other uncapped players, Jayant Yadav, HS Sharath and Milind Kumar, who are also who have picked up for 10 lakhs each, maybe just to fill in the gaps, and also just to maybe they'll make a mark for Delhi as well somehow. So overall, Delhi have got a really good side. They really went out. It's really evident from this list that they really went out and pushed for people they wanted, and they got them at pretty good prices as well, I feel. Apart from, of course, Dinesh Karthik and probably Murli Vijay, I think everybody came at a pretty good bargain price for Delhi. They got their players at good prices. So now let's stick them into a little playing XI here. So of course, up front, I think Quinton de Kock will open. Q. Quinton de Kock is definitely going to open the innings. So I think Murli Vijay will assist him because he has a good record for IPL. He just sometimes doesn't go for it. Murli Vijay, then number 3, of course, you're going to have Peterson. Peterson has a huge role this year, I feel, because he's their captain, and also, particularly since he's been released from the ECB, I think he's going to really want to make this year count because he's got the chance to lead the Delhi Daredevils, and if he can lead them to a good run this year, I think he can really, it'll sort of go like an in-your-face to the ECB, so he's going to really want to make his mark this season. Kevin Peterson, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how he will play. Then number 4, I think they'll want Ross Taylor, because he not only is an amazing batsman, but he's also a really good fielder and also a potential captain as well. So in case they're not in the mood to use Dinesh Karthik, they can always use Ross Taylor. So then Dinesh Karthik, he's their best wicket-keeping option, apart from de Kock, of course. I think he's gonna keep wickets probably, depending on what they want. They can also make him keep wickets if they have to. And then number 6, they're probably gonna slot in Manoj Tiwari, a handy batsman, probably down there. And they've already used up 3 of their overseas slots. The last one I think they're gonna reserve for maybe a bowler, and maybe a nice fast bowler or something. So I think they're probably gonna put in Saurabh Tiwari down here. Saurabh Tiwari, he's also an option there, but of course they could also put in someone else like Mayank Agarwal, Lakshminathan Shukla. They have plenty of options. I'm just hypothesizing here because they're probably gonna put him there. And then Shami Ahmed, then probably Wayne Parnell should go there. He's one of those really good fast bowlers who can bat. We've seen him do really good with the batting, to great effect. Excuse me for that. Then I think Wayne Parnell. Then who else? Shami. Then Rahul Shukla. Rahul Sharma. Because while he's been out of colour for a while, he's really a premier spinner who can work miracles. And this last spot, I feel Delhi can experiment a bit with. They can use Unadkat, who's really good in last year's season, particularly on a flat track like Chinnaswamy. He still had an economy rate of roughly 7, which is quite good, to be honest. Unadkat, they can put in, depending on how the pitch plays, they could play they can play Nadeem if they want to play 2 spinners, or they can play Rahul Shukla. So this is really where I feel that Delhi can experiment a bit. They can try maybe HS Sharat. They can try to slot in various players. So this should be their experimentation spot. This is their bowling experiment slot, because this is where they can really afford to mix things up. Because Shami Ahmed and Wayne Parnell should form a good duo. Then they can use Rahul Sharma as well. And I think this should be where they really try to experiment with things. The only problem with this, while this is a really good exercise, I think we're gonna have to change it up a bit. Because if you notice, they've got 4 bowling options down here, but they've not got a 5th one, a really good 5th one. Only Kevin Peterson and Manoj Tiwari can really bowl there. So they'll really want to slot in one more bowling option. So my guess is that they could probably leave out, say, they might leave out Quinton de Kock. Just gonna erase him over there. Despite his incredible form, I think they're gonna prefer to leave out Quinton de Kock as opposed to any of their other players, and put a different opener up there. Perhaps it's gonna be interesting to see who they use up here, because let's see. Mayank Agarwal. Agarwal and Vijay, and this enables them to kick out someone like Saurabh Tiwari, who is definitely not in color, and slot in someone like Nisham or Coulter-Nile. So basically, it's going to be hard for them to manage to slot in Taylor, Peterson, and Quinton de Kock all at once, because that means that their bowling will be slightly unstable, because they'll have only four bowlers and no one really who can provide a fifth option. Only Kevin Peterson and Manoj Tiwari are probably not the best bowlers in the planet. So they would not be able to, even if the four bowlers did really well, teams could afford to target this last fifth player, so that would really sort of slip and it would not look good for the Delhi Daredevils. So this should be what they have in mind, because Nisham, Coulter-Nile, and this makes them a nice handy five bowling attack. Then if necessary, Manoj Tiwari and Kevin Peterson can hop in with a couple of overs of spin, and of course even Ross Taylor in times of utmost need. So this is basically what they should look to do. And yep, that brings us to the end of this podcast. I think it's my second longest one so far. I really enjoyed talking about the Delhi Daredevils here. It's because it's just so much they can do, because they've got so many options here. They can do a lot of things, and of course they could. Okay, sorry, not to. This is quite not the end, but they can also fit in more players here, like Saurabh Tiwari. They can slot in whoever they want. I think even Kedar Jadhav deserves a chance. They can push him in somewhere in here if Dinesh Karthik isn't in form, or Manoj Tiwari. They can afford to do a lot of things here, which is why I feel it's so interesting to talk about the Delhi Daredevils, to see what they can do and all that stuff. So yep, thanks for watching, and I hope you decide to watch some of my other podcasts as well. You can just search on my channel IPL Geek Rocks, or if you want, all these podcasts are on my website iplgeek.com. If you just search around in that over there, you will find them. So yep, thanks for watching.